White House is attacking California Governor Gavin Newsom after a deadly crash on a Florida highway. Horrifying video from last week shows an illegal immigrant truck driver allegedly making a reckless U-turn across three lanes and resulting in a wreck that killed 3 people in a minivan. A senior ICE source says U.S. Marshals arrested the illegal immigrant in California over the weekend, which is where he got his commercial driver's license from. He'll now be extradited to Florida to face 3 counts of vehicular homicide. An awful, awful story. Jesse, your thoughts about this?
Well, they keep saying that these illegals are doing the jobs that Americans won't do. But many Americans would love to drive big rigs. You can make $150,000. You get great benefits. You can travel. A lot of people would love this job. So that line is BS. And Gavin Newsom should call the families of these people who passed away. It's the least he could do. I think any governor whose citizen kills someone from another state should call those people and apologize, especially when their policies have a lot to do with the vehicular homicide. Now, there's 3 dead people and they have families, and this will come up when he runs for president. These are now angel moms and dads, and you can't ignore these people. I would advise Gavin Newsom, which I don't know why I'm doing, you got to call these people right now, because people are they'll be appearing with J.D. Vance at a press conference and saying, your deadly policies killed my son or daughter.
DP, your thoughts?
Well, I think that we've had this debate for a while about states that are wanting to give driver's license for business purposes to people who are illegal. And it's always kind of curious if somebody comes from a position of saying, well, that doesn't really make any sense. And also you wonder, well, then if you get the driver's license in California, a CDL, commercial driver's license, then should that only be allowed to be driven in California? And then he wouldn't have the issue of the J.D. Vance call out at the convention. The other thing is, or at the debate, the other thing for me is that for the last week, Gavin Newsom, and why am I giving him advice? You have to stop it with the Twitter thing. I don't know where his wife is. If I were his wife, I would say, "What? You are making a fool of yourself. Stop it. Do not let your staff tweet. And if you're doing it yourself, put the phone away and start over. And if you really, he's got a big job as governor of California, but if he wants an even bigger job, he has to be a little bit more serious."
Here's the thing about Gavin. He's already blamed Trump for this. He's already done it. And you had to know that that was coming. That somehow, some way, since he broke in 2018, it's actually Donald Trump's fault. And I'm going to get to that. But this whole notion that it's Donald Trump's fault, all you have to do is think logically. What is the person that is driving the left bananas about illegals being rounded up by ICE? My thought is, does anyone believe that if this guy was trying to get a driver's license and Donald Trump had anything to do, if he had any say so, who believes that Donald Trump would have given him the green light? No one. No one on the left, if they're genuine. No one on the left. This is sanctuary tragedy. This is what happens. This is what sanctuary policies do. It shields the criminal. It gives access and really license. I don't mean like a driver's license. It gives them license to do whatever they want. That's what this is about. If you're an illegal, you get to do whatever you want. We're going to give you a driver's license. You're an illegal. You have no business being here. And he got here, by the way, on false pretenses that he was, fleeing. I think India. This whole sanctuary city, sanctuary state. I think that people see in California, because there's an issue right now. People think that since, the affordability, and that's like a major issue across the country. And they're right. It is a major issue, affordability, a major issue. In California, that's always been an issue. Like, none of that is new if you live here in California. None of that is new. Everyone knows it is extremely expensive to live in California. Right now, my mother-in-law has a house next to hers. The house is going for $1 million. And when I tell you, when you look at it, you'll be appalled. You would be appalled. You'd be like, $1 million for that? And then when not only do you look at the house across the street from him. And that one is probably going for a mint as well. Everyone knows that it's very expensive to spend your life here in California. The overriding issue for people in California is illegal immigrants. And just like Jesse Waters told you, you're being told that that's a job that Americans don't want. Isn't that the line? And you got to know you're being gaslit. Americans do want those jobs. It's just that employers can pay this guy under the table, and that guy doesn't get dental. They don't get health care. They don't get a 401k. So it's just more money for the CEO.
Tragic story, Gert.
Yeah, and Newsom blames Trump because Trump was president when this guy got his license in California. But it's the state that determines eligibility. They have the autonomy over this. So, I'm sure that if Trump knew about this at the time, he would have done something. But a lot of people didn't know what the libs were up to until it got too late. We didn't know about the millions and millions of people coming across the border. We were talking about it, but, it took years of us. So it's interesting. If you look at the breakdown across the country, Republican-led states don't offer licenses to illegals. It's only Democrat-led states that do that. 19 states permit illegals to drive. How
many Republican states, Republican governors allow illegals driver's licenses? Who? How many? There are none. None. This is one of those issues where it is clear. Okay, Democrats are detrimental to the union. Democrats, when they're these woke policies, these sanctuary policies, and let's be clear, the only reason they're doing that is because they want those people to be counted in the census so they can get more congressional representation. That's all they're about. It's not that they're altruistic. They just want more warm bodies so they can get more representatives in Washington, D.C. That's why they fight tooth and nail to keep even criminals. They fight tooth and nail to keep criminals here. That's the reason. Republicans don't do that kind of crap. It's unbelievable.
long will that last? This is where I think Trump could do something. Go after the companies who hire illegals for driving. If you have an illegal alien driving one of your vehicles, I don't know whether it's, Penske, whatever, you're screwed. Because then you're responsible. Like whoever had that truck, I don't know if that's their truck. Who knows? And I think Jesse's right. I think Gavin is toast because there's a direct line from California policy to people's death. And what connects that is the sanctuary philosophy, the idea that illegals don't just get a place to live, they get benefits. So I think that there's no way that he can answer this question. He's going to be defensive. He's going to say they could have, the government shouldn't have given him that license. I wasn't even governor then. It doesn't matter. You are the governor now. You knew that this was happening. Oh, instead, what you were doing, you were cosplaying on X, pretending to be Trump. He does more work avoiding work. If he just took 10 minutes 2 years ago to make a couple of decisions on trans and sanctuary city and homelessness and drug addiction, he wouldn't be in the situation he is now because he's such a coward. Now he pays the price because others paid with their lives.
Here's one of the overarching issue will be sanctuary cities, sanctuary states. In California, it's a sanctuary state. We have a county here, Orange County, was like, please do not count us. Because they were pleading with Donald Trump to please do not count us. We are not a sanctuary county. It's like when the state goes rogue, the counties suffer. And that's what you see happening right now. The state, the citizens suffer. We don't want this. None of us want this. The only people who want it are the people who believe Gavin Newsom is a good governor. I mean, I am amazed at this. I really am.
Yeah, just is not, you don't have to react to this, but he did come in, I guess he came in 2018 as a getaway.
Yep.
And we didn't, whatever. I just, again, it's the Biden
Broke
stuff
the
I get,
law.
but no doubt about it. He broke the law under, anyway, so you don't have to react to that. I just want to make sure that point was known.
Well, I have always heard from the left that sanctuary jurisdictions are in place because they're compassionate. Well, this is not compassionate at all. There's a family that's been destroyed as a result of this in another state that doesn't have the same sanctuary policies as California does. And this is a guy who, when he got this big rig license to drive commercially, had to have training. So he either had the training and he didn't care to make this turn, or he didn't have the proper training on top of getting this license. I defer to he just didn't care, because when he reacted to what happened because of his actions, he had no emotion on his face whatsoever.
Did you notice that? When you see him make the turn, and I'm guessing he can feel the jolt, he looks back and looks at the wreckage. It's kind of like there was no expression on his face at all, one way or another. Like, I would have been like in shock. You were in shock. You stop. You grab your head. It's like, oh my God, you do something. He didn't do anything. He showed no remorse whatsoever. He just was figure like, I got to get the ham out of here. I think they pick him up in California. I don't know, man. This is a bad look. Check this out.
Hey, genius, talking to the Trump administration. The federal government, Trump admin, already confirmed that this guy meets federal and state immigration requirements. You issued him a work permit as usual. The Trump administration is either lying or clueless. P.S. at Grok, who was the president in 2018. So this was all part of Gavin Newsom trying to pretend like he's a tough guy like Donald Trump because he doesn't have enough to do in his own state, like rebuilding neighborhoods that were burned to the ground by the wildfires. Tricia McLaughlin, DHS Assistant Secretary, responds and absolutely destroys him, saying false. Harjinder Singh, who's the driver of the truck that did the illegal U-turn, who's an illegal and should not have had a license, is in the United States illegally, and his work authorization was rejected under the Trump administration on September 14th, 2020. It was later approved under the Biden administration, June 9th, 2021. The state of California issues commercial driver's licenses. There is no national CDL. Sincerely, genius.